Welcome to the Cenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Have you ever found yourself in that spot? You know, you're trying to eat well, get enough sleep, maybe you're even meditating, but there's still this persistent mental fog, or you feel completely drained or just emotionally a bit off.
Yeah, it's incredibly common. And often our first thought is, okay, let's reach for the usual suspects, right? Maybe more omega-3s, maybe a B complex for energy, or perhaps some magnesium to unwind.
And those are crucial, absolutely. We know they're important for brain health. They get a lot of attention.
And rightly so. They are vital. They form the foundation.
They really do. But what if there's this other piece, this unsung hero, a hidden gem that's often completely overlooked, but it plays this huge foundational role in how sharp you feel, how energized, how emotionally balanced.
You're talking about selenium.
Exactly. That's what this deep dive is all about today, uncovering that mineral.
It's fascinating because it's a trace mineral. Your body only needs tiny amounts, really small, but its impact, anything but small.
So that's our mission today.
Yeah, that's it. To peel back the layers, uncover selenium's deep connection to your brain function, your mental wellness.
Helping you see if maybe, just maybe, this could be a missing piece for you.
Precisely. It might be that crucial element you haven't considered.
Okay, let's start the detective work then. What is selenium fundamentally? And why does the brain specifically need it so much? You called it a bodyguard before. I like that.
That bodyguard analogy is actually, pretty spot on. Selenium isn't just passive. Your body actively uses it to build these powerful proteins. They're called selenoproteins.
Selenoproteins.
Let's think of them as your brain's elite special forces. They're constantly on patrol.
Doing what exactly? What kind of damage are they preventing?
Good question. They're defending the brain against inflammation, fighting off harmful free radicals. So those are like rogue molecules causing damage.
Okay.
And, this is key, they're supporting proper thyroid function. Plus, they help balance brain chemicals like serotonin and dopamine. It's quite a list.
Wow, okay. So let's talk about those free radicals and oxidative stress. You mentioned inflammation. Is it like our brains have these tiny, unseen fires starting all the time from stress, poor sleep, maybe pollution?
That's a great way to put it, yes.
Yeah.
Oxidative stress is essentially that molecular fire. It happens from all those things: poor diet, stress, lack of sleep, illness.
And that leads to brain inflammation, which we feel is things like brain fog, fatigue, maybe low mood or anxiety.
Exactly. That's your brain signaling, hey, things are getting a bit hot up here. And this is where selenium really shines. It acts like a molecular firefighter.
A firefighter? How?
It's essential for activating a really important enzyme called glutathione peroxidase. Bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
But think of it as the chief firefighter. It's incredibly effective at putting out those oxidative flames, protecting your delicate brain cells.
And there's actual research linking low selenium to feeling down, right?
Absolutely. There was a significant study, I think it was in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, which found that people with low selenium levels were indeed more likely to report feeling depressed.
Wow.
And the flip side is promising. Having adequate selenium seems to genuinely improve mood. It's a pretty compelling link.
That is compelling. And then there's the thyroid connection you mentioned. Lots of people know the thyroid affects energy and mood, but how does selenium fit in?
It's absolutely fundamental. Selenium is essential for actually producing your thyroid hormones. Your body can't make them properly without it.
Okay.
And these hormones, they don't just regulate metabolism. They're like master controllers for energy levels, your mood, mental clarity. Your brain really depends on a steady supply.
So if someone's feeling constantly tired, foggy, maybe emotionally flat, even if they think they're sleeping okay?
It could be related, yeah. A lack of selenium could be hindering thyroid hormone production, and your brain feels the effects directly. It's all interconnected.
Okay, so beyond the thyroid, let's dive a bit deeper into selenium's direct effects. You talked about antioxidant defense. Why is the brain so susceptible?
Well, the brain is an energy hog. It uses a huge amount of oxygen relative to its size, and it's very rich in fats, lipids.
Right.
Both of those factors make it uniquely vulnerable to oxidative stress, to those fires we talked about. So selenium's role in boosting that glutathione peroxidase, that firefighter enzyme.
It's extra important for the brain.
It's critical. It's constantly neutralizing free radicals, protecting that delicate tissue. And this protection seems directly linked to, well, mood resilience.
And you mentioned a study supporting this in young adults even.
Yes, exactly. The Journal of Nutrition published findings associating higher selenium intake with better mood scores and fewer depressive symptoms in young adults. It suggests a real protective effect.
Which leads us nicely into mood stability and, dare I say, depression support.
It does. And look, multiple studies across different groups of people show this correlation. Lower selenium levels often go hand in hand with higher rates of depression.
How does that work? What's the mechanism thought to be?
Well, it seems to involve reducing inflammatory signals, these things called cytokines,
Okay.
and helping to stabilize key neurotransmitter pathways. Think dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good chemicals. Selenium helps keep them in balance.
That's fascinating. And there was even a trial, wasn't there? A placebo-controlled one?
Yes, a randomized trial. Participants took selenium supplements for just 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Okay.
And they reported significantly improved mood and less anxiety compared to the group taking a placebo. That's quite a quick effect for a mineral supplement.
That really is.
Yeah.
But we absolutely have to stress, this isn't a replacement for traditional depression treatments.
Oh, absolutely not. Crucial caveat. Think of selenium more as enhancing your emotional resilience, especially if your levels are a bit low to begin with. It's a supportive player.
A powerful supporting player, potentially. Okay, let's shift gears slightly. What about cognitive function, memory, focus?
Yeah, that's another exciting area. Remember that oxidative damage and low-grade inflammation we keep mentioning?
The background noise in the brain.
Exactly. That noise is thought to drive cognitive decline over time. It makes thinking harder, slower.
So selenium, by quieting that noise,
Can potentially support faster cognitive processing, maybe improve memory retention, and even offer some protection against age-related mental decline.
that's huge and particularly relevant for anyone dealing with stress, right? That stress-related brain fog and forgetfulness.
Precisely. When you're chronically stressed, you often experience that mental fatigue, the difficulty concentrating. Selenium might help tackle one of the underlying physiological reasons for that sluggishness.
Okay, so this all sounds incredibly important, but who's actually at risk of not getting enough? You might think, oh, I eat pretty healthy.
Right, that's a common thought. But deficiency is actually more common than people realize. It's not just about diet. Digestion, your environment, stress levels, they all play a role.
Let's talk about stress first. How does chronic stress deplete selenium?
Well, when you're stressed, your body ramps up its antioxidant defenses to cope. It's like putting the pedal to the metal.
And that uses up fuel faster.
Exactly. It burns through nutrients like selenium more quickly. There's research, I believe in biological trace element research, showing lower selenium and higher oxidative stress markers in chronically stressed people.
Okay, so stress is a big one. What about gut issues?
Huge factor. If you have any kind of digestive disorder like IBS, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, even just leaky gut,
Which are all pretty common.
very common. These conditions can seriously impair your ability to absorb nutrients in your small intestine. So even if you're eating selenium-rich foods,
Your body might not be taking it in properly?
precisely. One study in clinical nutrition showed Crohn's patients had significantly lower selenium, especially if they'd had the disease for a long time.
Wow. Okay, so absorption is key. What about dietary choices themselves? Vegans, vegetarians?
They can be at higher risk, yes. Selenium is most concentrated in animal foods, fish, poultry, eggs.
Right.
Plant sources exist like Brazil nuts, which are fantastic, and this is a big but. The amount of selenium in plants depends massively on the soil they were grown in.
Ah, the soil factor. Tell us more about that.
It's critical. The selenium content in food varies wildly depending on geography. Some regions just have naturally selenium-poor soil.
Where are we talking about?
Parts of Europe, like Finland, Germany, the UK, New Zealand, certain areas in China, Russia, even parts of the US.
So even eating local, healthy plant foods might not be enough if you live in one of those areas.
Correct. The plants simply can't pull selenium from the soil if it isn't there in the first place.
Okay. And finally, just general poor dietary variety.
Absolutely. Relying heavily on processed foods, being a very picky eater, following very low-calorie diets, or recovering from eating disorders, all these can lead to insufficient intake.
Makes sense. Processed foods aren't exactly brimming with trace minerals.
Not typically, no.
All right, so if someone listening recognizes themselves in those risk factors or resonates with the symptoms like fatigue or brain fog, what can they do? How do you get enough selenium?
Well, the good news is you can get it from food. Brazil nuts are the superstar. Seriously, just 1 or 2 a day can often meet your daily needs.
1 or 2. That's it.
Often, yes. But again, content varies. Other good sources include tuna, sardines, turkey, chicken, eggs, sunflower seeds.
A decent variety there. But as we said, eating them doesn't guarantee absorption if you have gut issues.
Exactly. So if you fall into those risk groups or you're experiencing symptoms, it's definitely worth talking to your healthcare provider. They might recommend testing or supplementation.
Okay, let's talk supplements. Are some forms better than others?
Yes, definitely. For better absorption and gentleness, look for forms like selenium glycinate. It's usually well tolerated.
Okay.
Or selenothioneine. That's the form often found naturally in food, so it's highly bioavailable.
Right.
And selenium-enriched yeast is another good option, generally well tolerated too.
And are there forms to avoid?
I generally steer clear of the cheaper inorganic form called sodium selenite. Its bioavailability isn't as good, and it might have more potential for side effects.
Good to know. What about dosage? How much is enough and how much is too much?
Great question. The standard recommended dietary allowance, the RDA, for adults is 55 micrograms per day. That's the baseline.
Okay, 55 milligram.
But some studies looking at mood benefits use doses more in the range of 100 to 200 micrograms per day.
Higher, but still relatively small amount.
Exactly. But, and this is crucial, there's an upper safe limit. You should not exceed 400 micrograms per day from all sources, including food and supplements.
400 milligrams is the ceiling.
Absolutely.
Right.
With selenium, more is definitely not better. High doses can be harmful, leading to toxicity. So always stay within recommended guidelines and, ideally, discuss it with your doctor.
Very important safety note. So selenium doesn't work in a vacuum, right? How does it fit into a broader mental wellness routine?
That's a great way to put it. It works best as part of a team, a powerful supporting actor.
Like in an orchestra.
Exactly. It synergizes really well with other science-backed nutrients. Think vitamin D3, omega-3 fatty acids, B-complex vitamins, maybe even L-theanine.
And together,
they provide broader support. They help regulate mood, promote neuroplasticity. That's the brain's ability to adapt and change and just help restore overall equilibrium, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed. It's about building a resilient foundation.
So to wrap things up then, selenium. It's just a tiny trace mineral. But its impact on brain function, on emotional resilience, potentially supporting mood.
Yeah.
It's pretty profound, isn't it?
It really is remarkable. Often overlooked, but incredibly powerful.
So if you're out there listening and you've been navigating that low mood or chronic stress or that persistent mental fatigue, selenium could genuinely be that unexpected, maybe crucial missing piece in your mental health puzzle.
It really could. By understanding it, maybe carefully incorporating it if appropriate for you, you're not just filling a potential nutritional gap.
You're doing more.
You're actively investing. Investing in deeper, long-term cognitive clarity and emotional balance for your future self.
It leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What if this one small adjustment, understanding this one mineral, could unlock a really significant shift in how you feel, how you think, how you move through your day?
It's definitely something worth pondering. A small key that could potentially unlock a big door.
Thanks for tuning in to the Cenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit Cenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.